Awesome. Thank you, Kemi, for that introduction, and really appreciate you. I'm going to share my screen. Welcome to everybody. Thank you, Kemi. I just want you to sit back, let's relax, and let's learn. There's a lot that we didn't cover last week, and we hope to be able to cover that. And also, if you have friends that you believe that should be part of this, you can kindly send a link to them, to also partake of this. Now, I'm not going to be doing this all alone, so I really like to have a pulse of how everything is going. Can you all see my screen? I projected business. Let me do that again. Sorry, let me just look on my screen. So we are going to go a little deeper today. Yes, I can see my screen. Thank you. We're going to go a little deeper today and just. So I'm trying to reshare my screen. Okay. So congratulations to those that won last week. It was for those that have not picked up your prizes, please do pick it up. But I just wanted to ask, I wanted to have a feel. How was last week? Did you get something out of last week? How did it go? Just I want to take a quick feedback. You can type something in the chat. How was last week? Were you able to pick out something from there? Did you get something that was able to help you? Something that you could think about? I'll just like quick feedback on the chat before I continue. Quick poll. Yes, I can see. Okay, no response. Yeah, very insightful. Thank you, Eniola. Thank you, Eniola. Any other feedback? Understand skills that yes, exactly. Skills that are transferable skills, helpful. Last week was great. The explanations were quite helpful. Yes. Last week was impactful. Yes, last week was awesome. Potential problem solver. Awesome. Great, Williams. Awesome. I'm glad you picked that. I saw that the number of us are unconscious business analysts. Great. You watched on YouTube. Beautiful. And yet that reminds me. Please go to our social media handles, our YouTube, subscribe and like. We're going to have a lot of things coming. Yes, Abidak said it was an eye-opener for me. Lucas said understanding the BA facilitate value in organizations. Awesome. Last week was awesome. It was enlightening. Omolola, thank you, Tosin. Simi Sola, everyone can be a BA. Everyone can be a BA, yes. And most likely everyone is already doing some form of business analysis. Thank you, Simi Sola, for that. Joy Ejuaye, informative and straightforward. Yes. And latching on what Joy Ejuaye said, we are also going to make it very straightforward today. And thank you for all those that gave that feedback. Today, we are going to be focusing on, like last week was an eye-opener. Thank you, Akin Femi. Thank you, Gloria Innocent. Last week was awesome. We are going to be looking at the business analysis core concept model. So what exactly is the business analysis core concept? That very motivating, great. Thank you, Chinonye. The business analysis core concept is referring to those things that are at the heart of business analysis. Remember, I told you that most people have unconscious BA competency, that they are unconscious BAs. It means they carry out business analysis activities, but they are not aware of those business analysis activities. But the question is, what is at the heart of business analysis? What is that core thing that a professional has, that makes us view that professional as someone that already has the business analysis mindset. Remember, I told you that business analysis is a mindset, is not just a profession, and that's why you could be working using different designations, but you still carry out business analysis activities. So what we want today, we want to look at those core concepts that makes you a true business analyst, or those core concepts that help you to perform business analysis activities. But before we do that, I want to redefine who exactly is a business, or what is business analysis. So business analysis, according to the Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, is the practice of enabling change. So as a business analyst, you are a change enabler, meaning that you are somebody that helps to facilitate organizations or people or process moving from a state to another state that is better. So we help to facilitate change. We help to move people from where they are to where they desire to be in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Now, if you look at those words that are highlighted, those words are the core of business analysis. Change enabler, somebody that can define needs, somebody that recommends solution, someone that delivers value to stakeholders. Those are the core. So if in your organization you are doing any of those, we want to show you exactly, one, help you to see that which you are doing and help you to do it better. Business analysis is performed on a variety of initiatives within an enterprise. Initiatives may be strategic, tactical, or operational. So like I said, you can work on different levels of the organization. You can be a strategic BA or a tactical BA. But regardless of what level you are working on as a BA, these core concepts are things that a true business analyst carries out. Business analysis can be used to understand the current state, to define the future state, and to determine the activities required to move from the current to the future state. Remember, I said you are a change enabler. And when I talk about change, I mean someone that helps people to transition from a state that they are not so happy with to a state that gives them value. So remember, you are a change enabler. You are someone that can define needs. You are someone that can recommend solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Now, remember I said you are a change enabler. It means you move people from current state to future state. Your current state is where you are right now. Your future state is where you want to be. For instance, you are going on a journey, and you are in a particular location A, and you get into your car and you open your Google Maps and you put in your Google Maps, I'm going to location B. Remember that the best route to take you to location B is based on location A, where you currently are. The system, the Google Maps or your navigation system cannot point you in the right, cannot give you the most optimal way to get to your destination if it doesn't fully understand where you are. So sometimes you see it's going to ask you, if your location service is turned on, it automatically knows where you are. If it is not turned on, it's going to ask you, where are you coming from? Okay, I know you are going to location B, but where is location A? I'm saying that to let you know that value, or that getting to your right destination, the ability to get to your right destination is hinged on understanding where you currently are. If you don't know where you are, then you cannot figure out how to get to where you need to be. And that is why, if you look at that definition, business analysis is the practice of enabling change. How? How are you a change enabler? By defining needs. Need is your current state. It is where you currently are. And recommending solutions. Your solutions they help you to get to your what? To your future state. So in that definition, you can see current state, description or analysis, future state, understanding, and finding a path. The solution is that path that will take you from your current state to your future state. And anytime a solution takes you from current to future state, that solution is giving value to a set of predefined stakeholders. So I hope that using that navigation systems help you to understand that it is not, because I work with a lot of BAs and you hear people say things like solutions. We are not talking about the solutions. No. You can't be talking about solution when you don't even know the problem. So the problem determines the solution. If, for instance, you need to split a log of wood, you can't use a pencil. A pencil is not a solution. You can use a writing pad and a pencil or a writing material when the problem is you need to physically document your thoughts. Then a pencil becomes a solution. But if you need to split a log of wood, then a pencil is not a solution in that case. That's why understanding the need, understanding the problem, understanding the opportunity we are trying to take advantage of is very critical to business analysis work. It might be in your department. Maybe you notice you guys are not meeting your KPIs, or you notice that a process is taking too long, or you notice that a process is too manual. Those are what are those called? Understanding the needs, defining the problem statement. Okay, let's move on ahead. So this is just another way of showing the business analysis core concept. And you can see that each of these core concepts is somehow related to each other. Each of these core concepts, they are kind of related to each other. But this is the heart of business analysis. And what we'll be doing is that we're going to be looking at each one of these and trying to break them down so you understand exactly what these core concepts are. Now, if you look at this diagram, you will see the core concepts. You will see the core concepts, and you also see and you also see how they relate to each other. So the business analysis core concept is a conceptual framework that encompasses what business analysis is and what it means to perform business analysis tasks. Regardless of perspective, industry, or methodology, or your profession, these 6 core concepts have a common meaning to all business analysts. You cannot tell me, even if you are a student, you have had issues, you have had needs that require solutions. And these needs that you have, of course, your needs will be are contained in a particular context. And these needs that you have, these needs, it's a particular set of stakeholders that have this need. And whatever solution that is provided to fix this need is going to offer value to some set of stakeholders. And for this solution to be implemented, it has to be implemented through a change for the business to be able to get value. Solutions have to be implemented through some sort of change, moving from your current to a future state, for you to be able to derive value, and that value is derived by, or that value is gotten by the stakeholders. So let's dive deeper into this. Let me check the chat just for in case there's any. Oh, you can't see the presentation. What's going on? Can anybody see the presentation? Yes, people can see the presentation. Please, if you can't see the presentation, Can you log out and log back in? Because people can see it. I'm not sure what is going on. Yes, people can see the presentation. If you can log out and log back in. Yeah, if you have a question, you can type them in because we have a handful to cover today. You can type them in and I will attend to them as we go. And I'll separate the time to attend to your questions, so don't worry about that. So the first core concept that we're going to be looking at is needs. And remember I told you that the first activity you carry out as a business analyst is to, number one, first of all, understand where are we? What is the problem? What is the opportunity that we are trying to take advantage of? You have to figure out where you currently are before you can figure out how to get to where you are going to. And these problems can range from operational problems. These problems can also be strategic. They can be operational. When I mean strategic, as in top management problems, or they can be tactical, meaning middle management issues. They can be operational, meaning issues that are affecting the day-to-day operations, of that particular organization. They can cause this need can cause changes by motivating stakeholders to act or enhance the value delivered by existing solutions. Another key thing I want to stress is that there's a difference between need and want. So a business stakeholder can come to you and say, oh, this is the problem we are having, or you are assigned to a project. This is what we want. Maybe a CEO comes or someone comes and say, oh, we have a problem, and the problem is that we need to procure a new software. We need to procure a new device. And we want you to carry out the business analysis activities to help us to move from our current state of not having that device to a future state of using that device with minimal interruption to operations. And you start your business analysis work. And of course, from this training, you realize that we need to define the problem statements. But while you are trying to analyze, management tells you that, oh, the reason why we want this software is because when I went to the golf course with my friends, with my fellow CEOs, everybody's using this software. Why is our company not using the software? Everybody's using it. So it means that, can someone tell me, do you think that that is a need or a want? I just want your feedback. When top management tells you we need a software because a want, exactly. It's a want. Excuse me, as business analysts, we are focused on the needs. Do you know why? Can someone tell me why why we can't focus on the want? Why do you think we shouldn't focus on the want? Because want, you are correct, want is based on emotions. If we are going to quantify value, if you focus on a want, remember one of the core concepts of business analysis is value. If we focus on a want, we will not be able to deliver value at the end of the day. Exactly. So if we focus on want, we are not going to solve the problem. Exactly. So it is important as business analysts to focus on needs. And I'm saying this because I've been working in this profession for years, and people will come with all kinds of requests. You as a business analyst, you need to go through the weeds to figure out. There's something in business analysis that is called elicitation. Elicitation is not just getting information from people. Elicitation is drawing out information, drawing out information. And your ability to draw out information is based on certain techniques, like certain techniques that we might talk about, we might not talk about. Like, problem analysis techniques like the 5 whys. The 5 whys. What's the 5 whys? The 5 whys just mean you keep asking, you ask the business, maybe they give you a problem, and you ask them why. Why do you think we need this thing? And they give you an answer, but you don't stop. You don't just accept that answer. You ask, why is that answer the right one? And you keep answering, and the more you ask that why, and you keep asking that why, a time will come, you will get to the heart of what the problem truly is. Now, for the CEO's case, I asked, why do we need to buy this new software, especially since we already have a software that is functioning properly? And the CEO tells you, oh, well, the reason why I think we need it is because every person in our industry, every person in our line of business, all have this software, and there must be something that they are deriving from it, that we're not getting. Okay, okay, but why exactly do you think having that software is going to help us in any way? I was like, oh, well, when I'm talking to my friends, I want to also say that, yes, we have something like this. Now, that tells you that the root cause, the real reason, is just a sentimental reason. So if you are going to do a cost benefit, the benefit of having this, the cost of having this software outweighs the benefit, because there's no true organizational benefit to having it. But it's going to cost us a lot to have it, because of course we are going to procure. We are not just going to buy the software, we are going to install the software. We are going to pay people that will install it too. We are going to move away from our current software. So I can give you so many reasons why the cost is not just the cost of procurement. It is also the cost of operating. It is also the cost of implementing the change. It is also the cost of training people to follow this new way or this new software. At the end of the day, you find out that this project should not even move ahead in the first place, because this project will become an example of a waste and not a value enabler. Remember, as a business analyst, you are a value enabler. You are a change enabler. You are a facilitator of value. You are a co-creator of value. And you co-create value with other business stakeholders. And the business relies on you to do some form of an analysis. Remember, it's called business analysis. And your first point of analysis is your needs analysis. The question is, what exactly is a need? A need is defined as a problem, an opportunity, or a constraint with potential value to stakeholders. You can think of a need as the reason why we should start a project. The need arises from the current state of the organization. Remember, I keep still coming back to this current state, because your need defines your current state. Your need defines. You might be working as a baker, but you have a challenge in your organization. You are not able to, your customers are not able to get your product at the time that you stipulated to them, at the agreed time for them to get their product. That is a problem. That is a need. Why exactly are customers not getting our products when we decided? Is it that the product was not available on time in our factories? Is it a problem of transportation, trying to get the product from our factory to the customer? Is it a logistics problem? Is there a delay in getting our various ingredients that we need for this particular stuff? Is there a problem of getting it and putting it together? Is there a procurement problem? Is it a logistics problem? Oh, or maybe our staff do not fully understand. Maybe we have too many staff that are resigning, and the new ones that are coming in do not even understand how to prepare this particular recipe or this particular product. So instead of them to be creating, they are learning. And because they are learning is creating. So you see, I am trying to understand what exactly is the problem. For example, an organization is receiving a lot of complaints from its customers about after-sales support. So the organization decides, you know what, we are going to address this need, and we're going to address this problem. So I'm assuming, like, let's say the organization is selling a subscription software, a software that you have to subscribe to maybe monthly, where people will subscribe to the software and pay a monthly fee. In recent times, the dropout period and rates are very high. So we have over 60% of our customers stop paying after 1 month, and 80% of our customers stop paying after 2 months. And the organization needs to address this problem. Why is our churn rate high? What exactly is going on? The organization needs to address this problem, and that's an example of need. So I'm giving you a couple of examples of what a need truly is. So let's say, for instance, in this example I gave you, we say that our company wants to automate its sales service process. So if the company wants to automate its sales service process, is that a need in respect to the example I gave? In respect to this example, I want feedback. Is that a need? The company wants to automate its sales process. Remember that I said that the problem is that our customers are churning. We have 80% of our customers that has refused to subscribe after 2 months. Is that a need or a solution? To automate the process, is it a need or a solution? I'm seeing yes, need. It's a need. Lara is a solution. Yes, Lara, yeah. Olatunde is a solution. Yes. Yes, it's a solution. So the need is people are churning. But somebody is defining the problem as we need to automate the process. No, automating the process is a solution. It's not a need. I hope you understand the problem. Automating the process is a solution to fix a need. That is why you have to first of all define the need so that you can get the right solution. Great. I'm getting good feedback. Great feedback. Yes, it's not a need, it's a solution. And the reason why I need the feedback is that I have to be sure that you are understanding. I'm not just here to just talk. I want to make sure we understand. And that's why, if you notice, I'm not rushing. Okay, so let's move on to another core concept. I think we got this needs definition or understanding the needs properly. The next key concept is, core concept is change. And what is change? Change is the act of moving me from my current state to my future state. Change is the act of improving enterprise performance in a controlled and deliberate manner. Change is the act of transformation in response to a need. Okay, for instance, I need to move from one location. Oh yeah, let me use another example. For instance, maybe in the home, I'm going to use very simple examples. I use corporate examples so you get it. In the home, you have a child that needs some special kind of diet. Maybe the doctor says, oh, in this whole house, you are all low on vitamin D. Forgive me, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I'm just, some hypothetical stuff. We are all low on vitamin D. Yes, or you are low on a particular vitamin. That is your need. Your future state is you don't want to be low on vitamin D. You want to have the appropriate level of vitamin D in all your meal. So what do? You decide to start researching what meals are high on this particular vitamin or on this particular mineral. And you research, you find out, oh, if we eat more of this kind of meals, if we eat more of protein, if we eat more of beans, if we eat more of vegetables, we are going to be able to get all this. It's okay, fine. We now know what our future state is, and we know the ingredients that we're going to use. Now, how do we start preparing this meal? And how many times are we going to eat this meal? Now we are talking about change. So you got the meal, you got the recipe, you prepared the meal, everything is ready. Are we going to be, what varieties are we going to eat in the morning? What variety are we going to eat in the afternoon? What variety are we going to eat in the evening? What you are doing is that you already have the solution. It's already with you. But how do we administer the solution so that the solution delivers value? Okay, you are all low on vitamin D. Does that mean that every food that we eat will all be vitamin D food? No, you are going to create another problem. And that is why planning for change, that act, the actions for transformation needs to be looked at properly. So what does that mean? When an organization first understands or recognizes its need, that need requires a solution. Now, the organization chooses a solution which it believes is the best fit to meet that need. The organization must now implement that solution, either by engaging a vendor or by doing it internally with some set of people, maybe technical or some subject matter experts. Now, during the implementation of this solution, changes take place within the organization. The change includes teams that will change, trainings, processes that will change. So many things will change. The way we do things before we change, the way we do things now are going to change. How do we plan for that change, for that transition from where we are to where we are going to, That is what is called change. That is what is called the act of transformation. How do we implement a change or a solution with minimal impact to the operational activities? You work in a university or you work in an educational system, and you have maybe your finance process is heavily paper-based, and you want to automate that system. Your current state is you have lots of paper trail. Your future state is automation. You now decide what solution can we get. You have 2-3 solutions, or you pick that one solution that is the best fit. A software that will eliminate completely paper processes. How do we implement this software? We now have the software. How do we implement this software? How do we train people to use this software? Because they're all used to what? They're all used to papers, printing paper, sign paper, give paper to this person, give paper to that. Now, how do we train people to go on their laptop, to go on their iPad, to go on their phones? 2, how do we sustain change? Because it's one thing to tell people we have a better way to do it. You know, human beings don't really like change. How do we sustain change? What do we do? Should we remove all the printers from the floor? Should we disable printing on the various workstations? So as a business analyst, thinking around change and how changes are implemented, transition plans, change plans, implementing change in a way that there's minimal disruption to business activities or operational activities is something that you do as a business analyst. For example, the support team at the least needs to learn how to use the new software. Learning, training. Are people ready? Are people skilled enough to know how to use this new automated software or automation software, or whatever you want to call it? Are people ready? You bought a new equipment. you know, so that you can create, maybe you have a bakery. I think I like food, but you bought a new equipment, you know, to make more bread, you know, to sell. Do people know how to do people know how to use this equipment? Or you just take it and just install and tell everybody, okay, this is the new system we'll start using. You create bottlenecks because people are not, the system might be the best in the world, the solution might be the best in the world, but if your change is not properly managed and planned, your solution will look as if it's not working. Okay, let me just check the charts showing. Are we getting, someone says I can't hear you. Really? Can others hear me? Yes. Okay. For those that can't hear me, I don't know what is going on, truly. I don't know what's going on, but people can hear me. So are we getting it? Do we get this point of change? Remember, I don't want to just, I don't want to lose everybody. So do we understand change? Yes. We should put it in speaker. Speaker? Oh, yes. Okay, yes, we understand this change. So let's move. Solutions. So I really want to say that as a business analyst, sometimes if you are, let's say you are doing a proof of concept or you are doing a needs analysis, sometimes each of these core concepts is all you will do in a project. Sometimes, I'm not saying every time. Sometimes. For that needs one, you might just need to, like, you want to identify your current state and your future state. That's just all you might want to do because you are trying to do a cost benefit analysis. So it doesn't mean that all the core concepts must be done in every project. Not really, not really. Now, what is a solution? I'm sure I've hinted around this. A solution is a specific way to satisfy one or more needs in a context. Satisfies a need by resolving a problem for stakeholders. So a solution is something. It could be a process. It could be a way. It could be a method to satisfy a need, to meet a need. Organizational needs can be satisfied or addressed through one or more solutions. Remember, if you are in a current location and you are moving to another location and you want to, and you're trying to use your GPS to get to your current, a future location or another location, remember that your GPS will give you different routes. Those different routes are what are called what? Solutions. Each of those routes will take you to the destination, but each of them has its cost and benefits. Some routes are shorter. Some routes are shorter, but they might, maybe you use more kilometers, you burn more gas. And you're like, oh, how am I going to burn more gasoline for a shorter route? Yeah, it might be a shorter route because that road does not have traffic. So you're just driving on the highway. But the other routes might be routes that will take more time because they have traffic. If there are no traffic on those roads, you would have. So if you are, let's say you are leaving a destination to a place to another destination on peak period, when there's so much traffic, it's better for you to go on the highway. It's more kilometers, but you get to your destination faster. Now, my point is saying that is that it is possible to fix a need that there are multiple solutions. The same way your GPS gives you, or your Google map gives you multiple routes or paths to your destination, and you have to decide which path you want to take. So something we do in business analysis is to do solution evaluation. We evaluate solutions. We do a cost benefit analysis. We do a comparison between our solutions to find the best fit solution to fix that problem. And it could be a process in your organization. Maybe you notice that the process is taking too long and it's becoming too cumbersome. And you see that, okay, fine, we can eliminate certain activities in this process to shorten the time. And there are different ways you can eliminate non-value adding activities, but we'll come to that. I don't want to dwell so much on that. So an example is to address the need for resolving poor after-sales service. The organization might want to use a software application. A need can be addressed. Oh, no. A need can be addressed in more than one way, which means that we can have more than one solution. In that example that we gave, we can decide that we want to have a software as a service CRM system, or a commercial off-the-shelf system, or a system or a computer system that is built in-house. So what I mean by all that is that a commercial off-the-shelf system means that we went to a vendor and say, you know what, build us, we are just going to buy your software the way it is and implement it the way it is in our environment, regardless of what our peculiarities are. That's a commercial off-the-shelf. A custom built system is a system that is built by the developers in that organization. So now we have two solutions for automation. It's either we buy from a vendor or we build in-house. Now, each of these solutions have their own cost-benefit analysis. They have their own cost and they have their own benefits. If you build in-house, are you going to properly document the codes that you used to build? What if the developer that built that software resigns? Can another developer upgrade that software? Can they patch that software? Can they fix bugs on that software? If that particular software, the one that you built in-house, is running on a particular application, maybe like Java, do we have in-house expertise just in case this lead software engineer resigns? Where can we get the expertise if we keep using this? Okay, for the commercial off-the-shelf, we at least know that, yes, we are going to be talking to a vendor. So the vendor is in charge of support. If the application breaks, you fix it. We don't want to know how you will do it. So the cost of maintenance is not retained in the organization. The cost of maintenance has been outsourced to another organization, although we do pay for it. But my point in saying that is that to meet needs, sometimes or most times you will have multiple solutions, but you need to be able to do something called solution evaluation to figure out the best solution that can fix a particular problem. So how does a business analyst decide which solution is best? It is based on multiple factors. Number one, I've mentioned costs. Number two, I've mentioned benefits. Remember, I kept saying cost benefit of this solution. Number three is risk. Like if you listen to some of these adverts for pharmaceutical companies advertising drugs, they always tell you the after effects. Forgotten the exact name they use for that stuff. If anybody remembers, remind me. They tell you the after effect of using that drug. And you listen to some drug adverts and side effects. Oh, thank you so much, Francine. You notice that sometimes the side effect is even worse than the ailments that the person has. I've heard adverts where the side effect is death. But for you to even take the drug in the first place, you are trying not to die. But the side effect of the drug that is supposed to help you is sometimes death. But anyway, let's not go into that. We're not in a pharmaceutical class. So, but my point in saying that is that you need to look at the risk of those solutions. Every solution has its inherent risk, and every solution has external risk. You buy a new software, or you are hoping to buy a new software that is going to fix a problem. But that software is not compatible with your current infrastructure in your organization. Maybe the software uses a particular kind of a particular kind and only one kind of database. For instance, maybe the software uses MongoDB. MongoDB is a type of database. But in your organization, you don't even have MongoDB, database. What you have is Oracle or the Microsoft SQL Server. That is a risk. So you know that, oh, I can't buy this solution because it's not compatible with my current infrastructure. Or you could say, okay, you know what? I know that that risk exists, but I'm going to buy a MongoDB in our environment. So now you see that a risk is solved by a cost, but you need to identify the costs, the benefits, the risk, both external and internal, and other factors. Awesome. If those, yes, if notice any, if you notice any side effects, see your doctor. Yeah, but that's the doctor's own. But for when you're working as a business analyst, you have options. You have options, right? And that's why you need to dig. That's why you need to search. That's why you need to research properly, and work on those the options that you have. Let me bring up my PowerPoint again. So let's move to another core concept. That is stakeholder. This one is very, very, now they are all very vital. But at the end of the day, if there are no stakeholders, then there's no business analysis work to be performed. Somebody has to be deriving value. Somebody has to have a need, or a group of people have to have a need. And a group of people have to use the solution to get value. So stakeholder is very important. And who is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is anybody that has a stake in your project or in that initiative or in that solution or in that change. And I must quickly say that sometimes stakeholders can be perceived stakeholders, people that feel I should be part of these initiatives. And that is why identifying all your stakeholders is critical to your business analysis work. You don't want to be missing out stakeholders, because at the end of the day, as you go further in the project, the impact of missing stakeholders becomes bigger or becomes more. A stakeholder is a group or an individual with a relationship to a change or a need or a solution. It is defined by their interest in, impact on, and the influence over the change. So your stakeholders have influence over a change. A stakeholder also have interest in a change, and a stakeholder could also have impact on a change. Now, all these we're going to dive a little deep into that today. So hopefully we have some time. And they are grouped by their relationship to the needs, changes, or solution. Now, according to the Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, we have different kinds of stakeholders stakeholder category. Number one, we have the business analyst, which is who you are. We have our customers. Now, we have our customers, we have our end users. Does anybody know the difference between a customer and an end user? Difference between a customer and an end user. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry.
Oh, you have 15 more minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I am going to share that question. Yeah, okay. Yes, so, okay, you know what? A customer is the person that pays for the solution. A customer is someone that pays for the solution. An end user is someone that uses the solution on a day-to-day basis. The question is, can a customer be an end user? I want feedback. Can a customer be an end user? Yes. Chidima, you're correct. A customer can be an end user, because a customer can be paying for it, but also using it. But it's also possible that the customer is not an end user. Somebody else is using it while someone else is paying. But it is possible that the customer might be an end user. Yes, not all I agree, but it's possible. You know, it's possible. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. So we have business analysts, we have customers, we have domain subject matter experts. Who is a domain subject matter expert? A domain subject matter expert is that person that is vast or has knowledge, expertise in that domain, in that business domain that you are looking at. We also have implementation subject matter expert. That is also an expert or someone that has expertise in implementing a solution. So it's usually a technical resource. We have operational support as stakeholders, we have project managers, we have regulators, we have sponsor, we have suppliers, we have testers. In our example, the stakeholders are the support staff, which are people attending to people issues, the customer service managers, and the directors. Now let's look at value. My time is kind of up. So let's look at value. Remember, I've always hammered on value. Value is the worth, importance, or usefulness of something to a stakeholder within a particular context. It can be a potential realized return, gains, improvements. It could be decrease in losses. It could be risk. It could be cost. It is also tangible. It could be tangible and it could also be intangible. It could be absolute or it could be in relative terms. A need merits an investment, and that investment is a solution. But that solution is only valuable if it addresses the need of the stakeholder. So please note that value is determined by the business. It is determined by the stakeholder. It is determined by people that have the need. Your child comes to you and say, oh, I want for my birthday, I want a gaming system. I want I don't know, gaming system, Nintendo or something for my birthday. But the child that wants a Nintendo as a birthday, you realize that you feel that the child has more, if there are more important needs, maybe because of your financial situation, or the child says, I want to go to Disney for my next birthday. And you decide that, okay, yes, you know what, we can't go to Disney, but I'll buy you a bicycle. Now, to the child, does that bicycle translate to value? I want answers. If the child wants to go to Disney and you decide you are going to buy the child a bicycle, will you say that bicycle? No, it's not value. It's not value. So my point is saying that value is determined by the customers. It is determined by the stakeholders. It is determined by those that have the need. You cannot define value based on what you as a BA or as a project manager determines value is. If I want Nintendo, you thinking a bicycle is better does not make me happy. So, and that is why understanding that whatever solution is proposed, developed, deployed must be valuable to the business stakeholders. How do we know that it's valuable? Because it meets the needs or it addresses the needs of the business stakeholders. So it is not just about value. It's not just about saying value in name. You must tie value back to the needs that the business stakeholders had. Because I've seen a lot of projects where people just deliver things for the sake of delivering without considering the needs of their business stakeholders. Okay, so lastly, we'll be talking about context. What is context? Context refers to the circumstance that influence or are influenced by the understanding of your change. It is everything that is relevant to the change that is within that environment. And the context may be attitudes, behaviors, belief systems, competition, culture, goals, government, infrastructure. Context is very relevant. Because if you deliver a solution, and you're not delivering that solution in the right context, it might not offer value at the end of the day, even though it meets a need. Context may also influence the decision to select the solution. Yes. The solution you pick must be a solution that offers value in the right context. For instance, you have, like the example I gave, you could either develop an in-house or an on-premise solution, or you could deploy a cloud solution. That is context. One is still the same solution, but you can deploy the solution on the premise of the organization in a server, or you can deploy it in a cloud solution, and each of those have their cost benefits. So my point is saying that even though we are deploying the same solution, the environment, the context could matter. It is possible that one organization will prefer, it will be more suitable to deploy a cloud solution to a particular company, and it is possible that it will be better to deploy an on-premise solution to another organization. So I think I'm going to, kind of stop there. I think I've exceeded my time. This is just a quick summary. The core concept model. What are the kind of changes that we are doing? What are the needs we are trying to satisfy? What are the solutions we are creating or changing? Who are the stakeholders that are involved? What do stakeholders consider as value? What are the context, or what is the context that we and our solutions are in? And that is a summary of our business analysis core concept. Okay, I'll take quick questions now and we can move forward, or hand it over to Oge.
Okay, Harry, I'm echoing, right?
No, you are not.
Okay, because right now, you know what? Go ahead and take the questions. At least let them ask questions. You can unmute them, because I'm trying to share my screen for those that are on Zoom that couldn't migrate to Teams. So go ahead, ask questions. When you are done, I can then share on the 12 weeks training and other information.
Awesome. So yes, I'm getting some feedback. Yes. Okay. Yeah, explained in a way that you understand. Great. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you for the feedback. That helps me. Do we have questions? If you have a question, you can, let's see if we can take some of those questions, or something that was not clear. Remember that it's not just about me talking at you. I'm trying to make sure that I'm carrying you along. Any question concerning the core concept model, and or any clarifications that you want me to give? Could you please, for now?
Harry,
what?
I don't know if people are having issues putting in question in the question box, because it will make it easy to take those questions one after the other. If you can please use the Q&A to put in your question, that would be appreciated. For those on Zoom, type in your questions and I'll move it over to Teams for Harry to respond to too.
Okay, so I can see, could you please shed more light on the need core concept? You mentioned that the customer pays for the solution, the sponsor also funds the project. What is the difference here? Can I see the last slide? Can laws affect content? Of course, laws can affect context. Yeah, very explanative. Question box is not enabled for me. Chukwebuka, you said the question box is not aligned, but you are typing. You're already typing. Just the same way you are typing. You typed the question box now. Just type the question there. That's all. Just type the question. The same way you are typing this, just type the question. I know we are getting Q&A is not enabled. I'm not sure why that is happening.
Yeah, Harry, can you check if there is any questions at all in the Q&A?
No. Yeah, there are questions here. It says,
Yeah.
could you run through the context core concepts? Yes, there are questions in the Q&A.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know why the Q&A is not loading for everybody, but I'm already seeing questions there. Yeah, okay, so let me go with the first one. Could you run through the context? No, that's not what I saw first. Someone is asking, could I run through the needs core concept? So let's go to the needs core concept. I'll do that quickly. The needs core concept is just referring to, sorry. The need cause. Okay, somebody's asking about requirements. I cannot find my mouse. Sorry, I'm trying to find my mouse. Just yes. So the need is addressing our current state. The need is addressing our current state. Where are we now? Why do we want to start on this project? What is the problem we are trying to solve? What is an opportunity? Oh, we found, as a telecom organization, we found the next best ringtone. That's an opportunity that we want to sell to our customer. Or we found somebody that we could use as an ambassador. It's an opportunity. But it could also be a need in the sense that maybe we are losing money, or maybe there's a report. That report needs to be out 2 days before the last day of the month, but this report always comes out 1 week late. That is a need, especially for the financial industry, where you have financial reports that have to come out at a particular date or at a particular time. When you find out that your reports are not coming out, or you have reports, but analyzing the report takes a lot of time. Why? Because you have Excel sheets that are heavy, and you have to do pivot, and you have to do this. Can we have a customizable dashboard for our report? So you see, this cumbersome report generation or report analysis could be a need. Late reporting is a need. So why are we starting this initiative? That is what defines the need. And remember, I said the need is your current state, is where you are. So let's move on to another question. I'm hoping that helped. Let me go to the Q&A again. I saw one question there. He said, my question is, are the questions disappearing or something wrong? Okay, you mentioned that the core concept model is not used in all projects. Can you explain? No, what I said is that in project A, you might not use every of the core concepts. That's all of them together at once. You might use 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But I'm not saying that. What I'm just trying to say, for instance, maybe the project you are working on is just a project to develop a cost-benefit analysis for a particular solution. For that solution, you are not going to implement. You are just doing a cost-benefit analysis. That's all. To submit that report to your manager to decide even if this project is going to start in the first place. So in this particular case, you are going to do a needs analysis. You are going to do a solution analysis. You are going to do the cost, benefit, and risk of each of those solutions. But you might not do change because you are not implementing anything. You are just doing an analysis of your current state. So that's what I mean by that. I'm seeing a question about business need and business requirement. I'm seriously, you see, this is an introduction class and I don't want to get people confused. So I will try and address that, but let me address the ones that pertain to this training. When is the free training? When is the free BA training? I don't know what that question was. I don't have an idea what that was. So. Jibola, I'm unable to chat, wondering why. I can see your chat, I don't know why. Let me move to another question. Can I run through the context? Yes, let me run through the context. So in the context, we are talking about the environment in which, the context in which you are deploying your change. The context in which you are deploying your change, the environment in which you are deploying your change. So context is referring to your solution and the context in which you are deploying your solution. So, and what it includes the background, the structure, the location. It includes your behaviors, attitudes, beliefs. I gave you an example of we are deploying, we want to deploy an automated solution, a solution that will help us in automation. But we can deploy this solution either on the premise of the organization, meaning that we have servers in the environment of that organization and we are going to deploy the solution in that place, or we could deploy it in the cloud. Now, if you ask me what's the difference between on-premise and on cloud just means that that solution is deployed somewhere that you cannot see, although you can have access, but you can't see it. It's deployed in servers in different, usually outsourced to another company that has a cloud solution. And on-prem means that it is deployed in a server room in your own premise. Now, you notice it's the same solution, but you can deploy it using you can deploy it in two different ways. And those two different ways have their own advantages and disadvantages. So that's what context means. And sometimes context could also mean languages, like I described. You deploy the solution, but after deploying the solution, you deployed it in France. But that solution, when business users go there, it's in English. It's a solution, but the context is wrong. The language is wrong. And because the language is wrong, it is unusable, even though it's actually a solution. But because it has a different language from what the people using that software know, the solution has been rendered useless. It doesn't even have any value anymore. Why? Because it's in a different language. So I hope you get it. Context can be in several dimensions. It could be culture, it could be competition, it could be belief, it could be language, it could be infrastructure, it could be location, like the example that I gave you.
Yes, any question for Harry, I can take it over for him to answer.
Okay. Okay. Are you saying something?
I thought I was muted on Teams. Go ahead, Harry.
Okay, I should go ahead.
Yeah, I thought I was muted on Teams. Please proceed.
Okay, so let me take another question. Could you go through context I have? My question is, you said that solution is about the stakeholders. What if what the request for is want and not need? If what they hope recommending the need and solution won't be like you are pushing your view. No. So let's say, for instance, the customer's request for, okay, you are Clara, yes, Emmanuel in Kamari. Thank you for that. So you deployed my question is, you said solution is about stakeholders. What if the request is a want? If the request is a want and not a need, you should not even start the project in the first place. You should first of all do an analysis. Remember that for you to be able to figure out the need, you need to do a needs analysis. When you do the needs analysis, you will submit your recommendations to the project manager or your boss or to the sponsor to say, this, based on what I understand the needs to be, these problem statements are not wants, are not needs, they are wants. And we ask you, why are they wants? They are wants because at the end of the day, they are not going to deliver value to the business, or they are wants because we already have a solution that can do this. So buying another solution just for us to be happy that we bought something is not a need. Buying another solution for the sake of buying is not a need. It's like your child comes back from school one day, sees his classmate with a bag that, with a Paw Patrol bag. So Paw Patrol is a cartoon character. And your child comes and says, Daddy and Mommy, I need another bag. Why? But you have, so you do your needs analysis, your 5 whys. Why do you need another bag? I need another bag because this bag is kind of heavy. Well, if your bag is heavy, why is your bag heavy? Oh, my bag is heavy because I'm putting too many things in the bag. Okay, let's go see what's in your bag and we can start taking out things. And you take out things like, does the bag feel comfortable? No, it doesn't feel comfortable. The bag is too small. Okay, if the bag is too small, what are the things you are putting in the bag? Why is the bag too small? And by the time you start digging and digging and digging, you find your child finally says, you know what? I want a Paw Patrol bag. I want a Paw Patrol bag. A Paw Patrol bag is all I want. That's what will satisfy me. But now you find out that this is not a need. This is a want. And you can say, you know what? We already have an existing solution that meets what you supposedly call a need. So we don't need. Okay, what if the stakeholders insist? Well, document your needs analysis. Document it. Document it and let your bosses be aware. If they decide that they want to proceed, at least you documented it somewhere. And that documentation is very important. You know, so, and I know you're going to say, oh, that breaks some of the rules on all that. But remember that the organization now is saying that they are willing to pay, but document so that tomorrow, when somebody is going through that your project again, they can see the thought process around the project. They can see that, oh, this was actually identified as a want and not a need. And the reason was because we have a pre-existing solution that can deliver exactly what the business wants. But this business was insisting on another solution to meet a want. Document via emails, document in your own. Please, can you show us an example of context? Yeah, I gave you an example. For instance, let me say, for instance, you go to Amazon. Somebody asked about context. You go to Amazon. You are in I don't know what country you are in, but let's say you are in Nigeria. And you go to Amazon, and when you went to Amazon, what you see there is you are in Amazon, but for some reason you went to Amazon France, and everything on the web page is in French. If everything is in French, can you use it? Even though it's Amazon, even though it's an e-commerce system, even though it's a solution where you can buy the books you want, you can buy the products you want, the context is so different that you can't even use the solution. The solution is rendered unusable because the context, in this case, language, is different from what you are used to. That, or you have somebody from France come to visit Nigeria and he wants to buy something quickly, and he goes to one of the e-commerce websites like what are those e-commerce websites in Nigeria? I don't know. He goes to one of them and the language is in English. Because the Conga, yes. Because the language Jumia, yes. Because the language is in English. Even though that system is an e-commerce system, it's a solution to the user's need. That solution becomes useless because it's in a completely different context. So I've given you another example of context, which is language. I hope that helps clear it out. Now, let me quickly dive into some other questions. I think when is the BA training going to start? I don't understand that question because the BA training has already started. Sorry if I draw you back. As a BA, do I work as team in a company or a consultant in providing solutions? As a BA, you can work as a doctor. As a BA, you can work as a nurse. As a BA, you can work in procurement. As a BA, you can work as somebody that has the name business analyst. As a BA, you can work as a project manager. You know, so, and as a BA, you can work in a team. So you could be assigned to a project and you are the only business analyst in the project. But it's also possible that you can be working as a consultant on a project. You know, so it's just in different contexts. And sometimes you are the only BA. Sometimes there will be multiple BAs in that particular project. So there's no, how do I put it? There's no stagnant way that your business analysis work has to be. It could be in different contexts. I hope you understand that. Okay. Let's look. Sorry, I'm just trying to check the questions. Please, I want to know That requirement is a UP. How can we know? Yeah, requirements. Yes, I'm going to get there. But if I go into that question of requirements, people will start asking me questions that we don't have the time. So, but don't worry, we'll get to that before we are done with this free class. So just there. Let's take it one step at a time. I don't want to throw everybody off by answering that question. Okay, let's look at a question again, more on context. I've said so many things about context. Thank you for the presentation. Business need versus business requirements. I'm tempted to answer that question, but I don't get people confused. Are there cases where it's a bit difficult to delineate between needs and wants, as it could be possible that either is a matter of perception? If yes, are there measures of evaluating or defining needs? Oh, yes. Yeah, I agree with you that sometimes it could be a defining line, but for instance, let's say your sponsor, your sponsor decides that, the point is just when you are doing your needs analysis, document your problem statement. So there's something called problem statements. Document your problem statement and validate that with your sponsor or validate that with your stakeholders. Are these problem statements correct? And work based on the problem statement that they validate as correct. But for every project, there needs to be some form of problem statements that are confirmed by the business as correct. So whatever problem statements that they determine as correct is what you should work with. Can we say context is the same as OPA? No. Yeah, so maybe EEF, but not OPA. So OPA is the operational process assets, and those that the currently existing documentation that your organization has, historical documentation. So, but context is not that. Context is just the environment in which your stakeholders are or in which the solution is going to exist in. Is that solution architecture? No, I can't remember what I was saying that you are referring to solution architecture. I guess that those of us who logged in as guests may not have Q&A enabled. Okay, I don't know why that is. Sorry for that. How do we convert business needs to specific measurable requirements? Yeah, that's another topic on its own. So you do your current state, your future state, and you do something called gap analysis. Gap analysis is how to move from my current to my future. From those gap analysis, you can now start identifying your requirements. So I'm not going to say beyond that because I will derail others. How best can documentation be done? I don't know. Not sure what that question is talking about, but documentation. How best can documentation be done? Yeah, put it on the Microsoft Word. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know what it means. How best can you document something? Document it. That's the best way to document it. I'm sorry if I'm answering that way, but I really can't figure out the context of the question. Yes, so it makes it difficult to answer. How do we convert business needs to specific measurable requirements? Yes, I said that. Do your gap analysis. From your gap analysis, you can now start identifying your requirements. Please, can I introduce myself as a BA? Yeah, it depends on your transferable skills. It depends on how much you have been able to identify your BA activity, the BA activities you've carried out in the past. How much you can able to identify that and put that in your resume. You can. There is no cast. Yes, I think if a clear way to understand context, delivering a solution in such a way that it is meaningful and useful to those that it was designed for. Okpeyemi, awesome. I wish I had an award to give you. Thank you. That was a very nice way to describe it. Please, is there a certificate for this free class? Okay, we'll get back to that. Is there a difference between a sponsor and a stakeholder? A sponsor is a type of stakeholder. Is it possible to provide multiple solutions with the aim of providing value to the stakeholders? I know it's possible to suggest multiple solutions, but in that your suggestion, you must state the one that most fits the needs of the business stakeholder. So you can't just tell them we have multiple solutions. You have to recommend the best fit. So there could be multiple solutions, but you have to recommend the best fit. And to recommend the best fit, you have to do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it possible to provide multiple solutions with the aim of providing? Yeah. Can you say need is in scope requirements and want is no, I won't describe it that way. So needs is what is the problem that the organization has. Want is just something that is subjective. So, but I won't put it in terms of in scope and out of scope. No, you just need and want. So, but for business analysis work to be valuable, it's better you focus on your needs. You could have a need, but part of that need, to fix part of that need might be out of scope. So something can be a need, but trying to fix it, a way to fix it might be out of scope for your current state. Is there a questionnaire template for gathering all the elements? No, there are no templates. They are just concepts that you need to know and have in front and at the back of your mind. Please hope we'll be getting a certificate at the end of this class. We'll talk about that later. Need is a must-have. Want is a nice to have. Yeah, yes. Good. That's a nice way to put it. Can wants become needs in the future? Of course, they can. Like certificate of completion. I cannot answer that question right now. So, but yeah. So I think we are done with the Q&As. I don't have any more questions. Okay, over to you. I can't see any more questions. I think we've exhausted them. Oh, Boo Boo, thank you so much. Boo Boo, where are you connecting from? Thank you. You said beautiful from the US. Thank you for giving that feedback. Okay, yes, you can talk. Your hands are raised. Okay. Okay, while we are waiting for Oge, let's see if we can allow Mike for Precious. Can you say what you want to say? Precious, you raised your hand earlier. Williams, thank you. Victoria, yes, well understood. Thank you for that. That makes this whole training worthwhile. Majid, Abdul, Fabi Sike, I'm sorry if I didn't say that well, but thank you. Bello Ibrahim, Ogie, I'm waiting for you. Francine, well explained, great presentation. Please go to our Career Aid Hub YouTube. We posted last week's class there. Please go subscribe to that YouTube for opportunities to win some things and also to encourage us to do more of this. We need encouragement to do more of this. As an independent BA, where do you get to consult for different companies? How do you develop yourself to be well-rounded? Because I believe that you can be a master of all fields. Yeah, as an independent BA, yeah, that's another training, consulting, how to get clients for consultation. Please, what is the name of the YouTube page? Okay, let me paste that somewhere. Get the name of the YouTube page and paste so that you can go like it. Okay. Okay, so let me get that link and share. Okay, so yeah, I've shared now. Somebody wanted to talk. I enabled the person, but I don't know, the person just disappeared again. Yes, so I've shared the link to the YouTube. Yes, wonderful presentation. Yeah, look, like I said, as a BA, you can have different perspectives. You can be working as a data analyst, that is a BA that is focused on data. You can be working in supply chain. You can even be working as a Scrum Master. You can be working as an Agile Scrum Master or as a product owner. So there are just different perspectives. Yeah, you can also be an application-focused business analyst. So you are focused on Salesforce. You are focused on Salesforce or ServiceNow. So that or Remedy. There are different applications that you can be focused on, or focused on AWS cloud solutions, or you are focused on security. So we have business analysts that are security specialists. So they are security business analysts. Go and type that on your job sites, and you see different jobs that come out for that. So, but they are also but the core of business analysis is still the same. It's still those business analysis core concept, and that is why I wanted to make sure we address that today. Context, change. I wish I could meet everybody so people can just tell me all the core concepts. Context, change, stakeholder, value. Sir, can you call a digital marketer a business analyst? Yes, because you are focused on products, and those products are offering value to customers, and those products are solutions. So even if you are selling that digital product, you already know the costs and the benefit of your product. Your stakeholder are the people that are buying the solution. So you are, as a digital marketer, you are a business analyst, because you know your solutions, you know the cost benefit of your solutions, and you are customizing your sales speech based on the needs of that particular stakeholder. Yes. Please, can I learn quality assurance tests with this course? Yeah, we'll do testing, but remember it's an introduction class, so we'll not delve in depth, but we'll talk about testing and quality assurance too. Data analysts in the house, please get in touch after the class. I want to be in one.